we're going to talk Superman and Lois, and Dane's going to kind of be along for the ride.
He was listening to it a little bit when I was watching it.
Dane, as somebody who's never seen the show, I'm guessing you didn't like it. It's probably not in your wheelhouse.
I mean, I was hearing it while I was working, and it sounded lame. That's my review.
That's okay. That's fine. So it's called The Thing in the Mines. The basic story is that Superman is having his weird... their visions.
Has migraines.
He's basically getting super migraines.
Wow.
And getting very mad at his kids as his kids like don't care that he's not feeling well.
Yeah.
Like he's like literally like spewing heat vision out, and they're like, "God, Dad, why are you being so mean?"
Is that literally the premise of the episode?
Yeah.
It's one of the.
I wanted to show to you.
It's important to the story because it plays into the character that makes its first appearance at the end. But he's being unable to control his powers, and when you are the most powerful being in the world, that is a problem.
I can relate.
I imagine that as being Super Dane means that it's very difficult for you to control when you're angry. It spews outward towards the world and scares everyone, right?
You can imagine when they get my pronouns wrong.
Oh man, exactly. So beyond that, I would say that the one thing we'll talk about, we're just going to get into it right now. Whoever's writing the Sarah Cushing story.
I hate her, and I don't think she should be a necessary character anymore.
No, it's not her. They're fundamentally screwing up the writing really badly. So the idea is that in last episode, remember, a lot of this is like, for as much important as like the superhero stuff is, a lot of it is teen drama, which is par for the course with the CW, which can be done well if it's done with good writing. This is not one of those examples, and I'll tell you why. Wow. They keep basically in last episode, the character of Sarah, who is dating Jordan, says like, I kissed a girl at summer camp. And I literally predicted that in the first episode. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to like, because there was no like hint that she was in any way bisexual or anything like that. I'm like, they're going to have her do this coming of age story. It's going to be really, really cliche. And that would be fine. You can do that well. But the problem is like now she's admitted to doing this. And they're all mad at Jordan for being mad that she did this to him, and they keep referring it back to the fact that like she kissed a girl. Like they're not mad that you kissed a girl; they're mad that you kissed anyone. He's not mad that you kissed a girl. He doesn't care. He cares that you kissed someone that wasn't him.
Yeah, but also I'm kind of sad that the CW missed this moment to play Katy Perry, I Kiss a Girl.
I know, right?
They missed their moment.
That's a good catch.
I literally wrote it down because it was so annoying to me. It said like when she's like talking to her mom about all this, she says
nobody cares about your problems,
she
Sarah.
Says, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed, and I'm like, why not? Nobody cares that you kissed a girl. You should be ashamed and embarrassed that you were unfaithful to your boyfriend. And then the mom literally said, she's like, well, if that happens, he doesn't deserve you. I'm like, am I taking crazy pills? You did this. He did not do this to you. He has a right to be angry for at least a period of time, and then you have to decide whether you're going to stay together or not.
No, but it made me so mad because like when Superman was like having his super migraines, he's like, I have to tell Sarah what I am actually, and like Superman is like giving him a good argument. He's like, don't tell her. And he's like, I'm gonna marry her, and he's like, no, you won't.
Who's Sarah?
Sarah's the Lana Lang, which is Superman's like high school girlfriend. They moved back here, and that's her daughter with another guy.
So that's Sarah. That's
she's dating Superman's son Jordan.
Okay. I was so like, this is Superman's side piece or something?
No. These are teenagers.
A little bit too young for Superman.
These are teenagers. So
oh God.
That was all I could think about. It's like they're not using John Henry Irons enough. He's the best person on screen.
I was kind of mad, like when he was on screen, they had his eyes closed.
Yeah. Well, and the daughter kind of came around at the end. What's his daughter's name?
Natalie.
I always want to say Naomi because they just released the show Naomi.
Naomi went down in ratings.
I know. But so it's the Sarah storyline that just shows a fundamental inability to write properly. And then they're literally treating the Lana Lang character who's like running for mayor. They're treating it like there's never been a female mayor in the history of the world. I kid you not. They used the line, it's time for a woman to do a mayor's job.
Yeah, way to go, Kyle.
At least they like cringed when they did it, meaning they know it's stupid. Yeah. But they're literally acting as if there's never been a female mayor in the world.
It's like everyone is not cognizant of like Angela Merkel existing and running essentially all of Europe.
It's like they're pretending like the last 50 years in America, all of the progress that has happened didn't happen, which is ridiculous and stupid.
What progress? Brett?
Exactly. The best scenes are back to being Superman and Lois together, or Clark and Lois together.
Well, that's the two main characters we should be worried about. Like, who cares about Jordan and Sarah? Like, especially Sarah. Let's just throw her off the cliff.
And Jonathan is being shortchanged with his weird drugstore. I mean, that's very par for the course for like a teen drama too.
What kind of drugs?
It's like superhero drugs now. They're like, they found this crystal.
Superhero drugs?
Yeah,
it's not meth. It's super meth.
They're like...
All right.
That's literally what it is. Like, they found this weird crystal that only grows in Smallville. I'm like, so it's not just meth, it's super meth.
It's super meth.
There we go.
Because they're in the middle of nowhere, and kids in the middle of nowhere.
It's like kryptonite meth.
Crypto meth?
Crypto meth.
That's the episode number, Crypto meth.
That should be that. So
episode name.
So he's gonna start getting crazy, like big.
Yeah.
And that I will say, and we're doing like, I'm not explaining the episode. We're just like, this is how when I review, I just kind of talk about what I like about it. I'm a horrible reviewer. I just talk about have you ever heard the saying like people won't remember what you said to them, they'll remember how you made you feel?
Yeah.
I very rarely remember what an episode says. I remember whether it resonated with me, right?
But come on, you remember when Sarah said, "I love you, Jordan," and then at the end when they resolve their problems,
he gives
she's
her
like,
a necklace.
Yeah.
And then he apologizes for being mad at her. I'm like, why are you apologizing to the person who kissed another person?
I know, but she was like, so are we together? And he's like, together forever.
Oh God, he's such a simp.
I was like, ugh.
He's such a simp. He's a 15-year-old simp. It's fine. It's fine.
He's
and
15 in the show?
I think they're him.
I thought he was 16.
I think they're 15.
Oh.
So 15 or 16. But then Jonathan's getting shortchanged because he's like, his storyline is very cliche.
He's going to be a meth head.
He's
a super meth head.
He's going to be a super meth head.
Dope.
We got Dylan Baker back as General Lane today. I guess he's not General Lane anymore because he's not General anymore.
He's a civilian.
No,
now.
we didn't get any of his. We didn't get anything from General Anderson, from the the good bad guy. There's they've got this new general who's like, you got to be pro-America, Superman. You can't be a globalist.
There we go.
And the guy's like, it's annoying because they're making the guy out to be the bad guy as if he's bad for like putting his own government first. But he's good in such he's bad in such a good way that it's actually at least fun to watch on screen. But the best scenes really are just Superman and Lois dealing with either Superman's issues or with the kids, talking about the whole scene where they sit down and they have to talk about like his outburst. She manages to be like, you need to fix this and we need to fix this together without it coming off as like her yelling at him or they look like they're figuring it out together.
Yeah, like I love the scene where she's talking to her dad, like she's on the phone and like she's talking to her dad, and then when Superman had the outburst, we can see your notes. But yeah, when Superman had his outburst with Jordan about like coming out to Sarah who he is really, she was like, hey dad, I gotta call you back. And she's like, honey. I love that part because that's so genuine in a real relationship where they're like, you just yelled at our kid. You need to fix this.
She does a really good job. Lois Bitsy Tulloch does a really good job playing that role. It's
Elizabeth.
She'll always be Bitsy. Did you ever see the show Grimm?
No.
Okay. Oh. She was in a show called Grimm, and she was still
we share a common interest with it.
Her stage name used to be Bitsy, but her full name is Elizabeth. But I still call her Bitsy because that's what it was credited back then. Emmanuel Shrieky manages to pull off those horrible lines during the mayoral stuff fairly well. I don't
like that story,
but that's a credit to her as an actress, not to the storyline. Same goes for, I love the mine manager lady who's like vaguely evil. Like if a mom with a cooking show is evil. That's the best way I can describe her.
She's God, Paula Deen.
Yes,
being evil.
Basically, it's evil Paula Deen.
And evil butter.
Yeah. The Natalie character was less frustrating this episode. She's coming around. Basically, it's kind of easy. It's hard to explain, but it's very like easy to do. Make the characters less annoying.
But also, my question is because like Jonathan and Natalie had a moment where Natalie's like, oh, I noticed you had the new Madden. Is that their contribute to John Madden passing away?
Could be. I mean, also they had to get the dig in where he's like, you play? She's like, what, because I'm a girl? I'm like,
They're just doing all the tropes.
It's not 2002 anymore,
But
dude.
at
The
least
Spice Girls happened like 20 years ago. Girl power's been a thing.
It's
Well-
just like MK Ultra propaganda.
Yeah.
exactly. But at least they didn't bring up her race.
Yeah, they've actually managed
Give
to
it an episode.
they've managed to avoid that with
Right.
them. Like they're not. One thing the show does well is it doesn't, because this is supposed to be portrayed as small town USA, Smallville.
Yeah.
It's literally Smallville. That's the name of the city. They don't portray them as like backwater hicks, or they're not disrespectful to the idea of Middle America, right?
Just imagine somebody in the background is like, "You found super meth. This is super moonshine."
Ooh.
Open a super store with super meth and super moonshine.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
No one knows.
It's so like they did the thing where like when Lana announces her mayoral candidacy, people from town are there and talking to her, and they ask her good questions that she can't answer.
Yeah.
Right. So the guys, they're distrusting of her, but they're not portrayed as stupid, and that's important. Like to me, in an industry like Hollywood, which takes every chance it can to like be rude to Middle America and treat people with
For real.
Yeah. So
Well,
like.
yeah, that's true. But also, Californians don't really know what's in
No,
Middle
they don't.
America.
They don't. That's
Like legit, my friends didn't know where Oklahoma was.
I also want to point out, like, did you ever notice how like whenever like whenever like Tyler Hoechlin is like talking to Lois, he
Yeah.
sounds like the guy from Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, God, Lois, I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
bad acting or if it's like he's great as Superman, but like he's like, Lois, I don't know what's happening to me. And I'm just like, God. Like that's what it comes off as
Yeah,
to me.
I don't know. I think it's because like they told him to act like you're really frustrated.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm trying to speak my lines, frustrated. I can't.
The CGI was good.
I loved it.
The scene where they have John Henry Irons, where the suit assembles around him.
Yeah.
It's like trying to do Iron Man on a budget. Like they clearly have more money to throw at this show for those scenes than an average show on on a network television station.
Yeah.
But they can only do like one or two of those scenes an episode. My biggest issue is that we see very little of Superman in a lot of the family,
Yeah.
which is fine, but I think there needs to be more of a balance.
Well, also there was a scene. I was like, that's not Doomsday, because
No.
Superman was fighting this one villain.
And we are going to spoil this if you haven't seen this episode yet.
Dane, cover your ears.
If
Never.
anybody who's watching this, they introduce Bizarro Superman.
Yeah,
Um,
because I was like, that looks like Superman. And then Brett was like, no, it's Doomsday. And then he comes back later in the room and says,
Well, I hadn't made it to the part where the helmet got destroyed yet. Yeah.
In the comic books, Bizarro Superman was so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And the cartoons as well. He
Yeah.
was like terrifying.
yeah.
And then in the very last scene, when they show him assemble outside the suit, they showed the Superman and Lois logo backwards, which was a nice touch.
Aw.
That was very clever. So, and this was like an organized campaign to keep this a secret, because they kept talking about. Because I read these articles about these shows all the time, I see a lot of media, general pieces we wouldn't talk about, where like so and so goes in depth about this show, and it's just media hype, right?
Yeah.
And they kept talking about Doomsday. So it was a concerted effort to keep Bizarro Superman a secret. So I'm glad that Dylan Walsh is back as General Lane. The Lois story is probably with her sister is
Yeah.
probably going to become more important as the season moves on.
So what's up with her sister?
Was in a cult. I guess her sister was in a cult, and then Lois like did a story that exposed the cult and used like her sister as like a source.
Oh my God, are they trying to make fun of the original Smallville actress who was in that cult?
That was the first thing I thought of. What's her name? Can you look up her name?
It's the blonde one.
It's the blonde one. Like the
She was like a head organizer in that. Like,
yeah, and, like,
Yeah.
it was like Nvidia or something like that. What was the name of that? Or Nivix or something like that.
1 second.
I'm just gonna look up Superman, a
No.
Smallville actress cult, sex cult.
Oh no, search up on IMDb. She's on there. Allison Mack.
Damn, our search history in this company.
Allison Mack. She plays as Chloe.
Yeah, Allison Mack.
Google sex cult.
How do you pronounce NXIVM?
What?
That's the name of the cult. It was NXIVM.
I'm sorry.
The
Are you having a seizure?
Nixov.
It's a Smallville actress. Allison Mack is now inmate number 90838-053 after NXIVM sentencing. Man, that's a good question. Like, are they like taking a shot at her? They have a
It's
character
kinda
named
funny.
Allison Mack.
Oh, that would be really funny because the girl that originally played Lana, Kristen
Cruick,
yeah, she was a part of it too, but then she got out quickly.
Yep, smart lady. So yes, this episode to me, other than the Sarah storyline where they're weirdly just like they keep ignoring the fact that she's cheated and keep making it about the fact that it was with a girl. Other than that weird bit of like what I assume is failed writing, I think this episode was better than the two previously. So I am looking forward to seeing the rest of it. Recommend, not recommend?
This episode, other than the whole Sarah and Jordan storyline, I think it was okay.
Yep.
It's okay. Like, if you're really excited to see Bizarro Superman, this is what you're going to get.
Yep.
Just a half-broken helmet and
basically
a super migraine and super mess.
Super migraine.
and super drugs and like, who's your Smallville supplier? That's what they'll be talking about.
I'm still waiting for them to go like
Breaking Bad. It'd be the Breaking Bad version of superheroes.
Bro, is that Crinton stuff?
Yeah.
No,
it's the crypto strain.
You know, Riverdale, basically, like, it's a small town also, like, for the CW
All these
show.
things take place in small towns.
Yeah,
they
but
can be recreated on sound stages.
Yeah, but you want to hear what their drug is called? Jingle Jangle.
It's a pretty great name.
It's called Jingle Jangle, and it looks like that powdered sugar candy, the Pixie sticks.
It tastes like it too.
Dane knows.
He's like, I took that Jingle Jangle.
Oh man. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.